Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Now we are in the second lecture and we will carry on from the remaining part of the first lecture. We were in the definition and the explanation of the definition of the project. So let's start. Again, some definitions of the projects that we can define the project is that all those activities that have start and end. Objectives and constraints are known as a project. All those activities, they have start and end. And the objectives are known, specified. So such some of the activities that is called project. There is also another definition of the project, that a project is one short time limited, goal directed and requiring the commitment of varied skills and resources. So such an activity is called project. One shot. Project is a one shot. Time limited. One shot here means they limited life. They have the short life. Short doesn't means, I repeat this one, short doesn't means that less period of time. Short here means one shot, means that their starting and ending times that should be specified. Goal directed. We must have some goals. Project must be consist of some goals. Without goal, this is impossible that we will do a project. If we have some goals, if we have some objectives, so we will do action for it. And if we don't have any goals, if we don't have any objective, so this is that will not come in our mind, and we will not start the efforts. If something we have some goal, something comes in our mind, so then we will trying to do something to some activities to achieve that things. And the commitment of varied skills and resources. It means that we will do the skills and the limited resources to achieve that targets. So such an activities that will be called a project. Clear or not clear? So these was the definitions of the project. So from all these definitions, we reach to the some concise result that now we can define the project in our own simple words, that project is the combination of different interconnected activities with the having some objectives or goals to perform those activities within budget, time and resources. So such an activity is called project. So the fundamental similarity beyond this, the characteristic of the project help differentiate it from other enrolled of the organization. And the major characteristic of the project is follow. After all the definition of the project, so we are reached to the point that we say that the project must have the following characteristic. First one, it have established objectives. In advance, there will be some objective of the project. Number two, a defined life span. It means that time period with a beginning and ending. Means that it have starting and ending time specified in advance. Number three, usually the involvement of several departments and professionals. Means that when a project manager want to carry on a project, so only a single person can't be able to do some project, because there are some project which need teamwork. Some project can be finished singly, but most required teamwork. So there are several departments and professionals are required. Fourth one, typically doing something that has never been done before. For the uniquenesses, we want the unique output. Fifth and last one, characteristic of the project, that specified time, cost and performance that are required. So these are the major 5 characteristic of the projects. That project must contain these. Now, after these discussions, we are reached to a point that why projects are initiating. So, projects are initiating in the following scenario. First one, when starting a new business. So we must need to do the project. How to do it? In order to develop, modified a product or services. Second one point. So for that purpose, projects are initiated. Next, for relocating or closing a facility. So project initiating are required. For regulatory mandate also, projects are required to initiate it. For some community issues, projects initiated are required. In order to re-engineer the process so as to reduce complaints, reduce cycle time and eliminates the errors, so projects are required. For implementing new system or process, so projects are initiating are required. Similarly, to introduce new equipments, tools and techniques, and similarly so on. So these was the reasons that due to that project are initiating. The next problems that are facing by the pupils or the students, they amalgamate the project with operations. They can't distinguish between the projects and the operations. The operations are the main difference between these in this scenario is that operations are ongoing and repetitive activities. These are repetitive tasks. That is conducted by the staff. So some of the measures I will point out. For example, financial management and control. So all these activities are what? These are operations, not of the projects. Continuous manufacturing, like daily in the manufacturing company, manufacturing taken place. So these are operations, not the project. Similarly, product distribution. This is an operational activity. This is not a project. Like daily wise, a company produced and distribute their products. Projects, on another hand, projects are temporary and unique and are performed by the team that have what? Clearly team will be defined and the individual's rules are also defined. Similarly, open and effective communication system. These activities belongs to projects. Visible rewards for good performance and have constant pressure to improve poor performance. We will, being a project manager, they will pressurize their teams for the poor performance if they are not according to the estimation. If the performance are estimated and when the project manager notices that the performance level is down the estimated curve, so they will pressurize their team. So the similarity between the projects and operations are that both are performed by people. Human resource, they are performing. They constraints by limited resources for both, for the operations as well as for the projects. Scarce resources are assigned. Similarly, for operation and project, both are planned, both are executed, both are monitors, both are controls. So these are the similar activities which are performed in these both in operations as well as in a project. So that's why most of the pupils, they are confused. They are not distinguish the operations with the projects. What is now the differences between these two? So operations are ongoing and repetitive. That is the differences. In project, operations will be limited, but in operations, all the operating activities that will be repetitive and ongoing. Purpose is to sustain the organizations by setting new objectives and continuing the work. These are the differences. Projects are on the temporary and unique basis, while operations is for the long period of times. End is unknown still. Purpose is to attain the objective and then terminate it. The objective of the project is what? When we achieve it, so we close the project. But operations, we achieve the objective and still remain. Like productions, we produce the goods. That was our objective, but we not finish the operations. For the next, again we start same thing, and so on. So this was the distinguish between the projects and their operations. Our next topic is what is not a project, which activity that should not be called a project. So day-to-day work या routine activity या repetitive task that should not be considered as a project. Like you take daily classes, you come to the university daily, so that is an activity, but that activity should not be considered as a project. Similarly, repetitive activities are routine. We take food daily, we can take tea. So these are not called the project. That will not comes in the limitations, in the category of the projects. These are the, I discuss these things in the definitions of the project, that project must have unique quality, complex quality, interconnected quality. They must have some goals or purpose, time, budgets and performance. So these are all the characteristic or the specifications, that all those activity which have these qualities, so then such an activity that will be called a project. Keep in mind one sentence, that a project is an old concept, but it's a new approach. Hope, dear students, now you will know about the project, that what is project. Now the second part is management. Management, you already studied this in the, I think in the first or in the second semester, in the subject of the introduction to management. What is management? So management, we can define that to do the any kind of activity according to the requirements. That is called management. Shortly, to do the activity according to the requirements. That is called management. Yeah, simply we can say that to perform any activity within the limited resources and according to the requirement, that will be called a management. So in the upcoming class, we will move towards the definition of the project management. For now, I will stop this lecture, and inshallah in the next class we will start from the definitions of the project management. So take care of yourself, be happy, stay at home, save yourself and save the life of others in this corona situation. Khuda Hafiz.